All right, wonderful. So, welcome to today's session on Faster-EFT tapping for health issues. So, today we're going to be working on health issues, diseases, and what are the emotional causes behind it. So, we have a programming where every time there is a health issue, or if we're having a pain, or if we have a disease, our first impulse is, oh, what did I eat? Oh, did I hurt myself? Did I do something physically? But it never occurs to us that what was I feeling? What went unprocessed? What was something that upset me, bothered me, or hurt me? That is something which we've not really been programmed to think. So, in today's session, what we'll be focusing on is that how 99% of all health issues, diseases, health challenges are all psychosomatic in nature, which means that the cause of all diseases is actually mental and emotional. And when we start changing the mental and emotional patterns that are causing those diseases, it is beautiful how they can just be spontaneously transformed. Sometimes it could take a little longer, but it's just miraculous to see how the direct correlation between our mind and body works. So, I would love to hear from all of you in the chat if you have worked with your mind body connection before, and how has your experience been, or have you practiced anything else connected to health issues. You can share it in the chat before I begin. I completely agree with you about the mind body connection. Yeah, that's great, Jill. So, one of the pioneers who actually talked about this mind body connection is Louise Hay. And there was a beautiful dictionary that she created very early on. I think this was in early 80s when she first came out. So, this is one of the books, You Can Heal Your Life. And there is also a book called Heal Your Body. So, this book has a dictionary where alphabetically all diseases are listed with their mental and emotional causes. So there has been so much research that has been done on the mind body connection that now there is so much accuracy that when I'm working with somebody and let's say they have a back problem, and when I go and read the specific area where they're having the back pain, the emotional cause, every person instantly feels like, oh my God, this is exactly me. This is totally me. It's like the book is being written, sitting, making me sit in front. So that's how accurate it has now come to be. However, it can also vary from the exact definitions that are given. So basically, how our body operates is anytime we experience something where we feel something bothers us, something hurts us, it angers us, or we feel afraid, that's when that emotion gets stored in our body at a cellular level. Another very important thing to understand is that every cell in our body is a complete organism in itself. It's not that only a certain parts of our mind and body are working and have stored different things in them, but every cell has a complete system working. So that is why what happens is when we work on the mind body connection, it is important to understand that how it is impacting us at a cellular level. So just like all of us have an energy field around us. So we are all beings who are emitting magnetic field around us. So around us, there are 7 layers of energy field, and each layer has a different purpose. So what we see right here is the physical body. After that, there is the etheric body. Then comes the mental body, and then comes the emotional body. So, for today's discussion, we are only going to limit ourselves to these 3 important layers, which are relevant to how the diseases come to be in our body. So, whenever something that affects us, anything that bothers us, It first shows up in the emotional body layer, or the which is around this much distance from us. So it's like a ball that surrounds us, which is our unconscious mind. And this layer is just this much away from our skin, from our body. So now what happens is, for example, I have some issues with my father, and every time there is an interaction, the emotions of, let's say, anger or helplessness or rejection from my father keeps collecting here. So it's like it keeps building bigger and bigger. It might start with a small speck, and then it keeps accumulating. It's accumulating because most of us don't have any mechanisms to release these pent up emotions. We have no ways. We just keep compiling them. Nobody of us has actually been taught healthy ways of processing our emotions since we were kids. So imagine how much we've been accumulating and carrying with us from time immemorial. So now, when this layer, the emotions keep collecting, so then they start reaching the physical body. So now, different emotions impact different parts of our physical body. So, for example, lungs stores sadness, deep sadness. Liver stores anger. So, similarly, different parts of our body store different emotions. So, now when these emotions enter into the physical body, they start manifesting as diseases in different parts of our body. So, many times, like things like cancer, when we talk about cancer, so it has been found that even if you go for chemotherapy or you get surgery done, if you do not release the emotional charge that created that cancer in the first place, then it reoccurs. So this happens very frequently. Cancer remission is a very, very common thing. So that is why it's very important that along with the medical treatment, we always take care of the emotional impact that it has on us so that we can fully process it, release it from our bodies. So when I do this work with Faster EFT, I work with a lot of doctors, medical doctors, who themselves have had some kind of diseases. Recently, I was working with a medical doctor who had experience, who had recovered from cancer recently. But because she was so aware of how the mind body connection works, she was like, I am just so eager to start working using fast EFT tapping so that I can clear out the patterns which created cancer because I don't need it to reoccur. And when we started working together, so there were a lot of side effects of the chemo also that she had experienced. So there was a lot of stomach issues, acidity problems, many things that she was experiencing. And it is so beautiful that within, I think, 3 sessions, all her health issues were 99% healed. And she was amazed that, how fast this work is, and how we spend years suffering in pain and, going through these difficult health issues when there are better and easier ways to take care of them. So that is what we're going to be working on today. So far, mention in the chat if this is landing for you. Are you connecting with this? Or if you have any questions so far, please feel free to mention in the chat. For those of you who have joined just now, we're talking about the mind body connection and how the diseases are formed in our body. Yes, this resonates. I've been a nurse for over 20 years and have seen this myself. Yeah, that's so beautiful, Jill. I have personally experienced this in my own life, seeing this in the life of my family members, friends, relatives, and how it's so amazing how a single thought can actually have a reaction in our body. So I remember, so every person has certain body parts which are more weaker, and so the body kind of uses them to communicate any discomfort going on inside. So for example, For many years, I had cervical neck pain problem. And so I kept searching through doctors and trying to work on it, but physiotherapy, but there's no permanent solution to the cervical or spondylitis problem. So then I started working on what's going on inside me that's causing this pain. And it was so amazing. So for me, I recovered. It wasn't just a few patterns that I had to take care of. So when I dealt with some of the patterns that were causing that pain, so in my life, what was being caused, what was causing the neck issues was that I was pushing myself to perform to a much greater standard, which was creating a lot of pressure on me. So this was in my corporate life when I was working in the corporate sector. So I would look at certain mentors and I would push myself to rise up to their level. That started my cervical neck problem. So when I started tapping on it, so it completely brought it down. But then I also noticed that my body has a way of communicating any kind of thing that bothers me, any stress in my life, it just shows up in my neck. Like the moment I feel a little discomfort or tightness in my neck, I immediately know that something happened during the day which bothered me, which went unnoticed. And now it's my job to find what it is, tap it out, and release it from my system. So that's how many times there are certain parts in your body which become weak, so they need to be strengthened as well, because your body will use them to communicate with you. So any disease is nothing but your unconscious mind communicating with you, sharing with you that, see, this is not working out for me, can you please figure this out, what is it, and just release it. So when you start doing things like introspection, inner work, you will notice that your body pains and all start coming up even more, because now your body knows that you have finally started listening to it, and now there's a way to clean up all the garbage that you've accumulated over the years. So it's so beautiful that what we think of as a curse, and we, feel so suffocated and upset when any kind of disease happens, but a disease is not our enemy, it's actually a friend. It's there to try to tell us that, okay, there's something going on that is not for the best, can you please deal with it? That's all it is. All right, so anyone has any questions so far? So now we're going to go into the faster EFT tapping. So is there anyone here who is joining in for faster EFT tapping for the first time? You can raise your hand or just mention in the chat if anyone is doing tapping for the first time. All right, great. So I guess all of you have experienced it in the past. Great. So now we're going to start with fast EFT tapping for health issues. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment and just notice in any part of your body if you feel any kind of tightness, any kind of discomfort, any pain that you're feeling, any uneasiness, and you can mention that in the chat. So we can work on that today. Neck. Okay. So is there a neck pain? Is it stiffness? What are you noticing? And also mention on a scale of 0 to 10, how much is it painful or uneasy? So 10 means it's very painful or it's very tight or it's very uncomfortable. And 0 means it's nothing. It's absolutely 0. So just mention sinus pressure for me, 4, 5 on 10. All right. Neck and shoulder pain on movement is 6. All right. What about others? SK, can you also mention your full name in the chat? That will help me address you. And just notice, when did the pain start for you? Discomfort in the heart and neck, 7. All right. So just notice, when did the pain begin? When did this discomfort start for you? How many days, months, years back is it? Okay, great, Samira. And then notice what was going on around the time when this discomfort or pain started. What was happening around that time? And you can write that in the chat. Too much stress. So if you're comfortable mentioning here, or otherwise you can write it on a piece of paper also for yourself, and just get very specific, what were the different things that were causing stress. Because stress nowadays has become a very common word. However, stress is in itself just a symptom. What's really happening is something else. So just notice, what were the things that were causing that stress, were triggering for you or bothersome for you. You can either write on a piece of paper, or if you're comfortable, you can write in the chat. So many years ago, I was a new mom and studying for my teacher's degree, lots of work. Okay. So the shoulders normally represent a lot of responsibility and a lot of burden and pressure that we carry. And also, it has a lot to do with when we're trying to take care of everyone around us and we're neglecting ourselves. And the neck normally represents our inability to be flexible and to be able to see other people's point of view. So these are some of the general causes of the neck and shoulder pain. Okay. So, Samira, write in the chat, what were you feeling when you became a new mom and there was so much work with the teacher's degree? So, what were the emotions that you were feeling at that time? Just notice that. Okay, so Jill says sinus pressure has been going off and on for a few months. Learned recently I have an infected tooth. I have looked into the metaphysical relation to it as well. That's great. So, sinus normally represents a lot of irritation from something or someone in our surrounding. So, just notice what all was going on in the last few months that triggers you or irritates you. And now, let's go ahead and tap together on it. There are a few things. That's great. So if you have a paper right now, just write all those things on that piece of paper that you were feeling, all the things that are irritating you. So get it all out on a paper. So I'll give all of you 2 minutes to quickly write down what were the emotions that you've been feeling, what are the things that make you feel. So for example, in case of Samira, it was a lot of pressure, a lot of work, a lot of burden, a lot of responsibility. So just write down what all were the things that were causing all of that. I have scoliosis, and it's the back pain that bothers me, especially on the side. So, which part of the back, is it the upper back, middle back, or lower back? Right side, lower back. Okay, let's look at that. So, right side normally represents the masculine side or the father side, and the lower back represents financial stress. So notice any kind of financial stress that you're taking in your life, some kind of financial pressure that you're putting on yourself, and anything related to your father that's bothering you, and your masculine side. And the emotional cause behind scoliosis is being suppressed by dominant, controlling, influential people, and your constant need for approval to be accepted by others. You always heard things like that is acceptable but not good enough. You can do better than this. Because of which you seem to feel that your efforts and hard work are never good enough. The harder you work, the more judgment and criticism you attracted. And there's a association between success and hard work with humiliation or lack of reward, and being stuck in between mother and father's conflict. So you can put all such related aspects that come to mind when I was speaking, sharing them. And all right, so let's go ahead with the tapping now. I hope everyone has written on the piece of paper and put a number on it, on a scale of 0 to 10. Where are you on all those emotions, all the feelings that you experienced at that time when the pain started, and all the different other times later on that you've experienced those same emotions. And now we're going to start tapping together. So we'll use two fingers, and you can repeat loudly with me as you tap on the points. I'm eliminating, releasing, and letting go all the pent up frustration, all the frustrations of burdens, all the overwhelm that I've been carrying inside me, all the feelings of anger. I'm releasing and letting go all the guilt, all the feelings of helplessness, feeling stuck in pain, unable to live life freely. I'm releasing and letting go in all the ways I feel restricted by pain. I feel limited by pain. It's time to release and let it all go. And as I'm releasing and letting it all go, I feel calm, peaceful, and relaxed. And take a deep breath, blow it from your mouth, squeeze your wrists, and say peace. And now let's close our eyes and let's go to a happy memory. And tell me which happy memory you think of. It could be a happy memory from some trip that you took, or being with your loved ones, or being in nature. Pick any happy memory and go and enjoy that memory like it's happening right now. Feel how amazing it feels in your body. as you're enjoying that happy memory. And then once you're done, take a deep breath, squeeze your wrist, and say peace. And now, once again, let's go and check. Notice what's changed and what's left on a scale of 0 to 10. So, for example, if you initially started with 8, notice what number is it at? Have the emotions reduced? Have they increased? Are they the same? So, just write that number in the chat. What number are you at? And if you have any question in between, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can ask in the chat as well. Sign of pressure is about a 4, slight reduction. Very good. What about others? Where are you reduced from 6 to 4? Very good. All right. So rest of you, even if you've not mentioned in the chat, you can just write on a piece of paper whatever number you're at now. All right. And now once again, feel whatever is left. Feel the emotions that are left. Notice the pain, feel that pain. And let's do another round of tapping together. And as you're tapping, look a little above your eye level. Move your eyes a little upwards and repeat with me. It's safe for me to release and let go. Whatever I'm holding on to, whatever is causing this disease in my body, whatever unprocessed emotions are left inside me, I don't need to figure out what they are. I can just let them all go. And as I'm feeling more and more relaxed, I give my mind permission to heal the body on its own without my intervention. And the more relaxed I feel, the faster my body heals on its own. And I'm calm, peaceful, and relaxed now. Take a deep breath, blow it from your mouth, and say peace. All right, once again, let's go and check, see what number are you at now. It could have changed in any way. It can increase, it can reduce, it can be the same. And just mention in the chat what number are you at now. Three, three, very good. 5. And you can also mention in the chat what are the emotions or what are the specific feelings that are left in this number so that I can use that in the tapping as we go further now. Low energy power. Okay. Fear. Anything else? frustration, unsupported, anger. Very good. All right. Now, this time, as we're tapping, I want you to move your eyeballs right and left to the extreme corners of your room while tapping. And let's tap together. It's time for me to release and let go all the frustration, all the hopelessness, all the anger, all the fears that I'm holding on to. I'm now starting to understand that all these emotions are my perception of the circumstances, and they don't need to limit me anymore. And as I'm taking my power back, I allow myself to release these emotions and feel responsible for creating the life that I desire. I'm not a victim of my circumstances anymore. I have the ability to create the life that I want. But the more I hold on to the past, the more I cannot move into the future. So it's time to unload all these burdens, the bricks that I've been carrying on my back. And as I unload them off my back, I feel free, light, happy, joyous, and peaceful. Take a deep breath, blow it from your mouth, and say peace. And once again, let's go to a happy memory. Be there, feel the joy, the happiness, and enjoy it. And then take a deep breath, squeeze your wrist, and say peace. And now let's go and check, is there anything left? Notice how is your body feeling, and write the number in the chat. What number are you at? 2, less pressure, move to a bit of lightheadedness. Okay. 1, very good. Neck is moving quite freely. Excellent. This work is truly miraculous. You know how fast it helps us free us from all the limitations. It's just beautiful. And you can use it anytime. It's so simple and easy to apply, and it just takes 5-10 minutes. All right, let's do one more round of tapping. And this time I'm going to plant a bit more affirmations as well so that we can create a healthy body now. All right, so smile at the wall in front of you. Look at the point above your eye level, smiling at the wall, and repeat with me. As I'm learning to connect more with my body, I'm forgiving myself for hurting my body with all these emotions. I'm sorry for all of that. And I'm now going to be much more aware and kind to myself. In order to punish others for the things they did, I will not hold on to emotions anymore. Because it's like burning my hand with the coal that I want to throw at others. It's time for me to forgive everyone and set myself free. And as I'm letting go of all the things that don't serve me anymore, I feel so free, energetic, happy, and excited about life. All the love that I seek from others, I'm learning to give that to myself now. I am my biggest cheerleader, and I appreciate myself in every moment. And as I'm learning to fall deeper and deeper in love with myself, I take care of my body as a beautiful temple for my soul. And I only treat it with utmost respect, love, and joy. And everything that doesn't serve me anymore, I say bye to it and I set myself free. And take a deep breath, blow it from your mouth, squeeze your wrist, and say peace. And now gently close your eyes and imagine yourself in a beautiful healing garden full of trees, mountains, rivers, flowers, and lush greenery all around you. And just relax here. You can do whatever you feel like. You can lie down on the grass, chase butterflies, swing on a tree, or swim in the river. Just be with yourself and relax and enjoy. Breathe the fresh air, the smell, aroma of flowers around you. And repeat mentally to yourself, I am healthy, energized, and fit. My body heals itself with love and joy. Beautiful new possibilities and opportunities await me in life. And I'm excited about every moment of my life. I am the blessed child of the universe. And then take a deep breath, squeeze your wrist, and say peace. And slowly bring yourself back to the here and now. And you can share in the chat or you can unmute yourself and share how are you feeling, how's your body feeling. And if you have any questions, you can ask that as well. Feeling good. Thank you for reconnecting me with these powerful affirmations. Wonderful. Glad they resonated with you. So much better. Feeling so light. Wonderful. That's great. So I'll share this recording with all of you. You can use this recording to tap anytime you're feeling any discomfort. And if there are any health issues or diseases which are much deeper, you can always reach out to me for one-on-one sessions, because some disease which have been harbored for a longer period of time might take a little longer to heal. So, in that scenario, working one on one is really helpful to identify what are the patterns, where is it coming from, and fully releasing them. So, wonderful, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today, and have a great night and a wonderful week ahead. Bye, everyone.